All right. Gosh, okay. Outstanding. It looks like we have ourselves a show, folks. Thank you so much for bearing with us. We were trying out a lot of new software. We tested it earlier. Everything went great until, of course, we went live. So, thank you again. At any rate, let's get down to it. Oh, here we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and try to fix the light here. All right. Oh, no. That's not great. Holy cow. Couldn't things go more wrong? All right, there we go. That seems doable. So thank you all for taking the time to pop in. We really, really do appreciate it. Big time. This means a lot to us that you're here and still on board with this whole project. So half a moment, we're doing a wee bit of improvisation here. All right. So thank you all for joining us. Today we've refined the stream a little bit, not in the ways we thought we did, but in some other ones. The intention today was to break this down into 3 parts. The first part is going to be me addressing everything that you guys have posted up in the server, your questions, your concerns. After which, at some point, there's going to be an intermission. And that intermission is going to give you folks a chance to address everything you've heard in the stream today, all the new news that I'm going to give you, and formulate your questions for segment 2, which is going to be straight up Q&A. My lovely wife is here helping me. She's going to be feeding me questions, watching the chat, and making sure that we get absolutely everything from you folks. The final segment, once we get our software figured out, is actually going to be community showcase, honorable mentions. We're looking to display all the art from the musicians, the artists, everybody that isn't on staff, but still takes the time to post their work in the server anyway. That's really important to us, and we love seeing it. So, forgive me, I'm nervous, a little off kilter. But getting into it, the very first portion that I'd like to address, that I'm sure everyone's very interested in, is app development. What are we doing? What's happening? What's going on? And I spent a little while earlier speaking with our lead developer, our lead coder, our lead programmer, the guy in charge of writing this entire thing and making sure that everyone's working together and making what we need to happen. And the very first question that I can answer based on the conversation I had with that person is, how long is development going to take? I know we're all really looking forward to the answer to that. So, absolutely, you can expect an alpha from us in about 6 months. Now, this alpha isn't going to be terribly complicated. It's not going to have a lot of the features that you're used to, especially based on our history here together. But we are going to be setting up a few slots for some folks to test the alpha, and we're going to be offering some staff DM'd games in assorted systems for people to enjoy, test things out, and help us find the bugs, help us find what's wrong so that we can implement the beta afterwards, which we're very, very excited for. It was our intention at this point to be able to show off some of the design sketches that our lead developer has put together for us. Thank you, Harp. Amazing human being, incredibly talented. We're really lucky to have him on the team. So since we can't show them on the stream this time, we are going to be posting them in the server for everyone to look at in as much depth as you want to. It's coming. As soon as I get off the stream today, we're going to be setting the entire thing up so you folks can look at it all in depth. But the best thing we can tell you right now, as far as how long development will take, is you can expect an alpha from us in about 6 months. We'll go from there, and as soon as we have more news, we'll let you know. The next question I got in the behind the screen questions thread was, what's your marketing strategy? What are we going to be doing? How are we going to be supporting ourselves? The whole 9 yards. So in that respect, we intend to push any and every link we have for our social media, the app itself, the Discord server, into every corner of the internet we can find. And just letting folks know what we're doing, what we're about. It will be a coordinated effort. We will be targeting all of the major social media sites. The community has a lot of experience with the more niche forums where people talk about these sorts of things, and we're going to make sure that we get our message out everywhere, just so as many folks that are interested can join us. Past that, as far as how we're going to be setting up the app concerning payment, funding, that sort of thing, we will be having ads on the app itself, and if you never offer a cent, every single person will be able to experience this application for free. You don't have to give anything to be a part of all your favorite games with all your friends. That being said, we did learn a few things from our last project, and we are currently exploring the possibility of a tiered subscription. So again, absolutely everyone can participate in the app. But in order to access certain portions, for instance, the NSFW part, and some other things, we're pretty sure that in order to curb that and make things happen in a good way that everyone's going to feel good about, there may be some payment involved in order to, nothing crazy, but to access the more esoteric portions. We like a lot of the models we've seen concerning tiered subscriptions, and there's nothing set in stone yet. We're looking forward to your input on the matter, your feedback, but that's the direction we're currently leaning. As far as long-term and short-term objectives for the app, right now the biggest thing we're focused on is making it. Managing the community is something we're very, very good at, and we have a lot of experience with, so we're not terribly concerned with that. You folks can continue to expect the same level of curation on the server, on our social media, that you're all used to. However, long-term objectives are fuzzy at best right now. That's difficult to determine at this point in development. We, of course, will entirely keep you posted, but I just don't have anything to offer right now on that. I promise to keep you up to date. So, the next question posted that I'd like to address was, what are your plans on how to keep the community up to date with news? Now, of course, as I've said, you can expect these streams from me every single Monday. I'm going to continue talking to you folks, even about the uncomfortable questions. No matter what you want to know, it's very, very important to us that we stay in touch with you. And we keep you up to date. We let you know absolutely everything that we know. I'm really, really excited to be able to post the images that we've gotten from our lead developer on programming and coding, because it looks like they're doing some really good work. And not only that, but we suspect we're going to be able to offer you folks a roadmap as of this time next week. So I'm hoping to announce that on the next developer stream. It's not going to be a hard roadmap, but there are going to be ballpark dates, times that you can look forward to on when certain things are going to go live. So we're very, very excited to be able to offer that to you, and we're just taking a little bit of extra time on it in order to make sure we're right make sure we're not lying to you or misleading you or telling you stuff that we can't do. The next set of questions I'd like to address is they're MRPG related. Now, many of you here were a part of MRPG for a very long time. You know the history, you know what happened, and it's inevitable that these sorts of questions are going to come up. I do want to make it very, very clear that we are a separate entity from MRPG, and despite the inspiration that that app's history has on us starting this business, again, we just wish them all the best. We understand that they are looking forward to implementing Mrpg 2, despite the way that their Kickstarter went. And we're just hoping it goes really well for them. One of the things that's mentioned was my personal thoughts on us becoming Mrpg's competitor. And speaking to that, well, sorry, that's a complicated question. It hits. It's weird. I never thought I would be in any way standing against Mrpg and what they were doing. But as far as us being their competitor, it's a free market. We were not entirely thrilled with what Mrpg offered, despite them doing a phenomenal job. And we're just going to do our best to offer a competitor, again, on the free market. We're not actively competing against them in so many terms. We're just looking to offer an alternative for people that were unimpressed with the way the app went, the way the app functions, that sort of thing. The next question is, here's a good one, I like this one. How is communication between the different staff teams, the coders, the illustrators, the musicians, the moderators, the owners of the app? Folks, we talk to each other all day, every day. We have the backroom channels set up in such a way that everyone actually producing content for the app itself can freely speak amongst themselves. Cupcake and I are constantly monitoring all of the traffic that goes on in those channels, and we're constantly doing our best to continue to direct that traffic in a productive manner. But everybody on the team knows they can talk to anybody else, and everybody on the team knows that they can reach out to Cupcake or I at any time with resources that they need, anything, and we're going to do our best to get it to them. So that actually leads me into my next inquiry here. How the structure of the community itself, the staff, the owners, is different from MRPG. And one thing I can say there is we talk. We chat with each other all the time. We're constantly exchanging information, I have teams telling other teams what they need, why they need it, what they're doing. Everyone is as transparent with one another in the development of this as we are trying to be with you folks. And so far, amazing work is being done. I'm really looking forward to showcasing some of the things folks have done here at the end of the first segment of this, because it's been truly astounding. Just the amount of effort and love that our team members are putting into this it's flabbergasting. It floors me. I never expected this sort of support just from people that want to see this succeed. It's been so heartening. So those were all the questions I received concerning MRPG, and moving on to the portion that all of you I know are most excited for. The polls are concluded. What's this thing called? We spent the last week well, since the poll's concluded, setting up the social media. We've got a Patreon coming for those of you that wish to support us financially, which we very much appreciate. And once again, I cannot reiterate enough how much every single cent that you people put into this app, into our Patreon, is going to go back into the development of the app. But here it is. Are you folks ready? This is the name. Despite how the polls went, we've decided to go with Tabletop Tavern as our name. We're really, really excited about it. The abbreviations are great. The way it looks on paper is phenomenal. And the art has been just outstanding. This is also the first time I've got to look you folks in the face and let you know that we made a mistake. Just like I told you I would. But we made a mistake. We told you guys that you would be able to name the app. And whatever the polls decided, that'd be it. But it's been a bit of a difficult week in that regard because we're trying really hard to get away from Mrpg. It's important to us that we recognize where we came from, but we also reiterate that we are a completely different entity that has nothing to do with that app at all. Phoenix, as you all know, was the top contender, and for very good reason. From the ashes and every bit of that. That was very... It made a lot of sense, and it looked really good for anyone that's been along to this journey. But moving forward, looking to the future, Tabletop Tavern just hit so well, and it encompassed so well our dream. There's a lot of potential for fan art. It's a very distinct brand. Heck, we didn't ever want to be called PRPG as opposed to Mrpg. That just, it didn't feel right. So I do apologize that we ended up misspeaking when we told you that the poll would absolutely decide what the app was going to be, what the name was going to be. But we really think you folks are going to enjoy this. We can't wait to show off the art and all the great things that this is going to be. We really do honestly believe this is the way to go. Sorry for all the filler. Again, I'm flying off the tip of my tongue here, and if anything, I'm more nervous this time than I was last time, so I really do appreciate you all bearing with me. So you can fully expect to see a lot of the branding art that our wonderful artists have put together. It's seriously beautiful. I couldn't even imagine doing any of this myself, and the things people have produced for us are absolutely amazing. Oh, hold on, I'm getting something new here. Let me take a look. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep on top of everything. So what we're going to do next here is I'm going to go ahead and shut off the stream for about 5 minutes or so, and I want to give you folks a chance to digest the information I've given you here and formulate any new questions, any new comments, any new concerns that you've got. And we'll be reopening the stream here in between the next 5 to 10 minutes to address all of those questions, comments, and concerns in light of the new information you've received here. We know we know that the name thing may be controversial, and please don't be afraid to express your real opinion about it. Again, we made a mistake, and I'm more than willing to address that. Please let us know. So we're going to go ahead and go dark for a little bit here, give it a thought, and we're going to be back in about 5 to 10 minutes here to do the Q&A and address your concerns in real time. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back with you. Hello, everybody. Good to have you back. Thank you for bearing with us. We're still ironing out some of the bits of streaming. We're not used to it. We have no idea what we're doing, but we are figuring it out. So this next part is going to be questions and answers. Based on the information you've gotten, we want to know what you think and what you want to know. So please post it in the chat, and then after it's over, I'll be on the threads. I'll be chatting with you folks and addressing any of the concerns that didn't come up during the stream.
Hey, I would hate to interrupt your wonderful stream here, but there is much hype in the chat about the name change. That you're busy, you haven't seen.
Oh.
There's a lot of cows. And, yeah.
Oh, folks, I'm hearing, I haven't had a chance to look yet, but I'm hearing there's a lot of hype in the chat, in the Discord server, about the new name, and, oh, folks, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Brings me a lot of joy. So I hope we gave you a little bit of time. What do you want to know? You know, we've shared some new information. The developers are kicking butt. We've announced a new name. We have social media coming. The Patreon, everything's going to be announced. Gosh, what do you folks want to know? And I'll chill here for a minute. And if nobody has anything to say, shoot. We'll get you in the chat. No problem. That is a mighty fine hype train in general. Yes, it is. From what I'm seeing, I'm just glancing over at on a second screen here. So I haven't had a chance to actually dig in and see what's going on. But this energy is just so heartwarming. I'm really happy to see it. Hello, King Kaiser. Happy to have you here. Do we have anything popping up so far? Oh, it looks like we do have a question. We'll give it just a moment here. I want to make sure everyone has a chance to speak and what have you. All right.
But because I was unable to figure out this apparently more complicated than I thought stream thing, all the visuals we planned on showing during the stream that we are now unable to, because I don't know why, we are going to make a thread for later on, thanks to the lovely Miss Cupcake, to show you all what we were planning on showing you during the stream. Like the concept art and some of the coding stuff and development. Fancy things.
Well, outstanding. As you folks may have realized, this stream didn't entirely go the way we intended it to. And we're going to work out those bugs for next stream. We will, as always, continue improving for you guys. It looks like we've got a thread upcoming that's going to showcase not only all of the amazing art we have for Tabletop Tavern, but the art for Phoenix RPG, because we knew it was winning, and we really did. We tried. We looked into it. We wanted to make that work, because I know that's what you folks wanted. But there were just so many little things. It was generic. It really tied us down to a very specific set of designs, which we weren't crazy about. And it was so close to, Mrpg. It just didn't fit what we're trying to do, what we want to do, what we intend to do. So we're really excited for tabletop RPG, and as I mentioned, you're going to see the art coming up for it. The possibilities are endless. It's just been beautiful so far. We're thinking about implementing different art for assorted seasons, holidays, events, and it's just so versatile. We really think you guys are going to like it. We do. And based on the hype we're seeing here in the stream, we're pretty excited for it. And we... Holy cow, I'm so sorry, folks. I'll have a water bottle next time. We're going to continue doing our best. And we did make a mistake. But we're going to continue owning up to any and every one of those we make. And moving forward in the best way we know how. Letting you folks know absolutely every little bit that's going on. Moving forward, coming up with the opening of the Patreon, I really need to learn how that's supposed to be pronounced. We still fully intend on offering a public accounting of not only all the money we receive from you fine folks, but where it's going, what we're spending it on, what's going on with every cent of it. Also, we're still working on rewards for various patrons. However, we have a merchandise manager who is going to be building us mugs, t-shirts, buttons. And in addition to offering those for sale at a reasonable price, and again, every bit of that is going to go towards materials to make more, and the app itself, we're going to be offering some giveaways as well. I know having some Phoenix merch, or even our Rebel flag, as it were, is going to be really exciting for some of you folks that have been here for a while and have watched the entire thing go down. So all of those things are coming up. You can expect a lot of exciting events. We're looking at a roadmap. Next week, the images that are about to be posted, we've got design sketches for the structure of the app itself. We're pretty sure we've decided to go open source with the whole thing, for those of you interested in the more technical aspect. Not the cleanest stream, but I'm still pretty new to this, and I do plan on improving as best I can. So I really do think that's about all we have to offer. Have any questions popped up in the chat?
Well, Little Lobby had asked what was happening with merch now that you have decided a name.
Oh. Yes, someone asked about merch, and I hope I managed to cover that.
First time chat, Punk Duck Lamp says hello. And
hello, Punk Duck Lamp.
There were a few questions in.
And it looks like we have some questions in the Discord, so we're going to dig those out real quick. If you folks would be so kind as to be patient with us. I really do want to take this time to address absolutely everything that I'm able to do, because it's really important to us to talk to the community. We are going to continue to remain in contact. Again, you can always reach out to us on the Discord whenever you need to. We're going to continue to be here for you all day, every day, best we can. So let's see here. What do we have?
Have you covered which is the team's main short-term and long-term objective regarding the app?
Each team's short-term and long-term objective concerning the app was something that somebody brought out. So, as I mentioned earlier, the art team has done some amazing things, and it's our intent to continue to utilize their outstanding talents to continue producing art for events, for holidays. We intend that the app itself will change themes, basic themes, on a fairly regular basis, while still continuing to offer the themes that you folks customize your own personalized app with. but we really do want to keep the splash art coming, the fun new things, and I think it's going to be really cool, and the art team is very dedicated to it. We have some graphic design majors. We have some really talented and educated people working on our art. And I think you can expect some really, really nice, pleasant, wonderful things to look at. From the design team perspective, the actual programmers, the coders, the people that are making the thing we're all going to play on. Again, we've got a roadmap coming next week. You're going to be really, really impressed by the design sketches that we're about to release in an announcement on the Discord server. And Harp has been an absolutely amazing lead so far, an incredibly talented individual, very pleasant person. It's been really nice working with him so far, and I'm looking forward to being an even bigger part of the work they're doing, even though it's just going to be me doing some of the most basic slog code that the more talented folks can't be bothered to deal with, which I'm more than happy to do. I just want to contribute in any and every way I can.
Can you officially confirm that there will be a dark mode?
Can I officially confirm that there will be a dark mode? Folks, it's almost 2022. There's going to be a dark mode. Of course there is. Absolutely, 100%. We wouldn't feel right if we didn't give y'all a dark mode. Which actually reminds me of another question I saw posted earlier that I didn't have a chance to address yet. What are the similarities of this app going to be to the features offered by Mrpg? Is the question that was asked. And I want to let you folks know macros are going to be here. It's going to be a basic part of the app. It's going to be integral. We know how much you love macros, and we're not going to take those away from you. Macros are coming. We're also considering community shared macro pages where you can design the fanciest thing you want and give it back to the community so other people can use it as well. In addition, dark mode, of course. Two of the other huge feature requests we've had are voice chat, which after our time spent in the last app, I don't know how difficult it's going to be. We're not at a place right now where we can even discuss implementing that with the developer team. However, it is definitely something I intend to push for if it's viable in any way, shape, or form. We want voice chat. People want to talk to each other, and we know that. Shoot, even if we can get some video going, we'd love for this to be a one-stop shop to play your games. You download the app, you show up, there's dice rollers, video, voice chat, and, as requested, maps are not something I can promise you right now, but it's something I hope to be able to promise you in the future. Even if it's just basic software. Again, we want this to be a one-stop shop for all of your tabletop RPG needs.
So 2 more questions. One just on the tail end of what you've been talking about. Will there be chat customization like background or music? And then potatoes has a question after that. That's not related.
Hold on to that one for a moment. One thing I haven't mentioned is the soundscape, the musical aspect of the app. We have some incredibly talented musicians that are offering us some seriously good stuff. Beautiful scapes, wonderful sounds that we really hope to integrate into the app, and custom sound streaming is something we hope to implement later on in the app's life. Again, we can't promise anything at this point. It's just too early. But soundscapes, custom backgrounds for your chats. We fully intend to make editing your comments after you've sent them a complete reality within the app. We all know how frustrating it was to spout out some gibberish because you were too excited to stop and proofread for a moment because you were in the moment, you were into it, you just needed to get that post out there. And we all know how frustrating it is to not be able to edit something after you've sent it. So that's definitely something we're hoping to make a base part of the app, because we've been there. We all play online games all the time, and we know how it goes. We know what we need. So Potatoes also had a question, and
very patient.
thank you, Potatoes. Potatoes.
Could there be a viewable channel like the polls, where everyone with the illustrator role can post designs regularly for the app without any end date, so the community can sort out the best design over a long course? That's nice.
So Potatoes has asked if we can put a channel, I'm assuming into the Discord, in which the community itself offers design suggestions, things they want to see, setups that they're interested in that would maximize their experience. And I think that's a fantastic idea. That's something we'll have to get with our lovely server architect, Cupcake, on. But I don't see how that would be difficult to implement. I'm really, really interested to see what you folks are going to offer us. That's going to be really cool. I think it's a great idea. We'll make it happen.
Will promoting Discord for voice chat until the voice chat comes out for the app be banned?
Will using Discord for voice chat in conjunction with the app be banned? I suspect, like Mrpg was. And the answer is no. We're not concerned that you folks being interested in other services that supplement the application to fulfill your needs will detract from what we're doing. If we're giving you something you want to use, you'll use it. And if we're not, well, we're doing something wrong. So until we manage to implement all of the wonderful features that we have planned for you guys, you have to rely on other services that are already in place, and we all know how amazing Discord is. Set up properly and fleshed out and supported. We're going to support that 100%. That's why we have a roleplay section in the server right now, because we want you folks to be able to do what you're doing, what you want to do, no matter what's going on.
In light of that, what about character sheets? Will there be one in the app, or do they have to build one from the ground up? And will there be a way to share character sheet templates to others? It has been much requested and asked about.
Absolutely, it has been. So the next question that's come up is character sheets. We've all been there. You put in 2 hours to flesh out the character sheet, to get every little detail right, and the campaign dies. That doesn't feel good, and nobody wants to do that twice. So we absolutely and 100% fully intend on offering transferable character sheets that you can save to your profile, and I don't know about drag and drop, but at the very least implement into any campaign that you end up joining, so that the hard work you put in is still useful, even if the place you put that work into is no longer there. There were a lot of times in our last birth where we saw a lot of people lose hours and hours of work, passion, love, and it's really important to us that passionate work, the love, that no matter what happens with your experience on our app, it's not lost. And you can repurpose that into your next endeavor, your next game. Again, we're not sure how it's going to work, but it's something we intend to implement. Absolutely.
If all of them, I think these were addressed already. What was the overall feedback by the community, publicly as well as privately? Were there already some highlights regarding the support by the community you would recall after just a week passing by?
All right, so our next question is, what is the feedback, what's the general vibe of the community, both publicly and privately, concerning this app? And I I really think it's a cool question. The community has been insanely supportive. The amount of positivity, the amount of motivation, the general amount of love, and the folks that believe in us to do this has been completely unequivocal. I've never seen this sort of support before, much less directed at myself and the other members of this team. And you folks are amazing. There hasn't been any difference between the public support and the private support. The volunteers have been completely selfless. The community has done nothing but offer good things. Everyone is approaching this with so much good intent. And I've never seen anything like it before. It's absolutely astounding. It really brings a lot of joy to my heart. So the public and private support for this, the vibe, it's been amazing. It's been really good. Everyone's been so positive and so uplifting and so helpful and so supportive. My heart swells.
Are there absolute don'ts and absolute do's you set for the shape that the app will take?
So it's been asked, what are the absolute do's and the absolute don'ts of, I suspect, our design philosophy moving forward? And that's a fair question. I like it. As far as the do's, do communicate with you folks. Do talk to the community. Do let you know what's going on. And not only the community, but our staff, the people that are making sure everything works all day, every day, making sure the trolls stay out, and that the people that want to bring bad things into this are curbed and don't have the opportunity to spread that sort of evil around. As far as the don'ts, we're still working on a lot of this, as you well know, but the don'ts are: don't leave the community in the dark. Don't leave questions unanswered. Don't leave people wondering about what happens next. Don't make the mistakes that we've seen made in the past. And that's been a huge part of every conversation we've had about designing this so far. That's taken place so far in the back channels of the Discord. And we fully intend to keep that going. Do we have anything else that's wandered through?
Well, there is a very important question.
Oh, a very important question, folks.
Yes. Will Moshi be showing up on the stream?
Oh, that is a very important question. Someone wants to know if Moshi is going to be showing up on this stream. And folks, I'm gonna let some of you down. No, Moshi's not gonna be here this stream. However, I'd love to introduce you all to Beerus. He's my big brawler tomcat, and you can see he's got a bit of an ear thing. He's got a battle scar, but this is Beerus, and you can summon him with Beerus, Beerus, come hear us as an incantation, and he will appear. You just got to say it in a mirror in the dark 3 times. But he's a good boy, and we love Beerus. Yes, he's a little touched. There's something a little wrong with Beerus, but he tries, and we appreciate him for that, and we're more than happy to allow for his foibles. But is Beerus. So I hope you'll all forgive us for Moshi not being present today. Let's see, have we had anything else pop up? All right, folks. Well, gosh, I have been sitting here.
Any last minute questions?
Well, any last minute questions?
Ghost on Discord wants to know if they could pet Beerus.
You can absolutely pet Beerus, but do be careful. He's a little squirrely around new people. He's not the cuddliest kitty, despite the fact that he's sitting here being such a good boy for us today. So, gosh, I've been sitting here talking to you folks for an hour now. I'm sure you've all had your fill, and I suspect I'm going to spend the next few hours on our Discord server answering your questions, chatting with you folks. I'm going to be there. So thank you once again for bearing with our technical difficulties. Thank you once again for bearing with the fact that I'm super new to this, and this has been incredibly awkward. We'll be streamlining everything. It's our hope that each stream is going to be a little bit better than the one before it until we get this figured out. And Tabletop Tavern, folks. It's going to be good.